to get on with us.
Oh, she did get on.
She told me, she's like, I just got on. There were people on there. I'm like, me too. Don't worry about it.
I just removed her. She showed up like 2 seconds after you, but I just removed her rather than take the time to explain it.
That's funny. She got it. She got it. So that was funny. It was Gio and Steph. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I seeing this right now? So it's like, that was nice. That was a nice surprise.
And then Jesse just texted me, say hi to Jim for me from family board meetings.
All right. That's my man. High fives back, say.
And now he says high fives back.
Hello.
There she is. I'm sorry I hung up on you before.
No, that's okay. I was like, I'm intruding.
I was just finishing up a call, but it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. It looks like you're catching butterflies in the background.
Oh, we see your butterfly garden. Yes, they just hatched yesterday. It's very fun.
That's awesome. We have had that garden.
Yeah. I feel like such a success that I kept these butterflies alive. So
yes, it is quite an accomplishment.
And I'll be the one to spill the beans. Jen is expecting a new edition in the fall.
yes.
Nice.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you have kids now? What do you have?
I have a daughter who's going to be 3 in June, and now we're having a baby boy in September.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And you're in Florida, right?
I'm in Florida. Mm-hmm.
You use, her name starts with a V, and I love her.
Vonda.
Oh.
Is your doula?
She is not my doula, actually, but a good friend of hers, Emily, is my doula. So you know Vonda? Oh, from the retreat, is that right?
From the retreat, and I love her, and I love doulas in general. I'm glad.
Best money I could spend.
Oh, yes. I would have been fully by myself if I didn't have a doula for those 40 hours. I would have been like clueless. Crazy.
They're great for partners too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it lets the, midwife or the doctor focus on the baby. Like,
exactly.
That's sort of important.
Oh, yeah. Pretty important.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, congratulations, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Well, and Ange, thanks for taking this call. I know you're heading for the Bahamas.
Tomorrow morning.
I know. So exciting. So I appreciate you getting this in before you go. We just got back. It was awesome down there, as you know. And, we're all ears, all listening. About the sequence, and that is the number one thing. The number two thing, which you and I can talk about online, and me and Jamie have been talking about this. I know Jamie's really wanted to start getting into some of her own stuff, which I really want to encourage. And we've been talking a long time about what would it look like sending her up to you. I'm not sure exactly where the program has evolved to, but I think that'll be a second conversation. But it's something we've been considering.
What's her stuff? Is it still in the parenting space, or is it something else?
She's trying to decide. Probably the early education parenting space.
Mm-hmm.
The Waldorf, the simplicity parenting stuff. But it might be something else too. So that might be a conversation. But we've considered.
I was going to say the best thing is whether she's going to work with me or not is for just. Like, because you've emailed with Rebecca, just have Rebecca get her on my calendar and let's just brainstorm. Because I can already think of, even if it isn't directly related to what she does for work, the other people I tagged in that post that you just commented on.
Yeah.
A lot of them are my authors that are in that early childhood space. So it could just be her coming to do a workshop for them. But there's a bunch of people I'd love to introduce her to.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
So we should just chat.
Okay.
Talk and chat. Chat.
Chat. Chalk.
We should chalk.
I like it.
So let's talk about for this conversation, I want to know the starting point and the ending point. I think I know, but I want to make sure I'm clear. Is the starting point, I have the book finished, I have the cover, I have everything done, and I want to know how to launch it, and the ending point is the launch day? Or is there something, where are we going from where to where?
Yeah, we are. The formatting, that's why I haven't sent you that. The formatting should be done in the next few days. We approved the final cover, which Jen, do you have that final cover that we could send to Ange?
Let me look.
Or you
Okay.
can screen share even if you have it on your computer. You can just screen share.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah,
When
I think we
you
have an
say
email.
formatting, you're talking about the print book as well as the ebook?
Yes,
You want
ma'am.
to launch them together?
What we wanted to do was launch print, ebook, and even audio. James has been helping us set up. We've gone to some studios here. Believe it or not, Tom's like, I don't let authors read my own book, but I want you to do a test phase. And he's like, you're really good. He's like, you're really good. I'm blown up. Because he coached me for like an hour, and I just did it. And he says, this is really good. I want you to listen to some Seth Godin and do your own book. So James is saying, we could hire someone, but I think you are the best person for it. And I never say that. So, so I wanted to do all three together.
Mm-hmm. And do you have someone on board to do the actual publishing pieces, or as part of the sequence, should I explain to you how to upload everything?
Well, for the original book we did, I wish Jamie was on the call. I'm not sure.
You probably did Create Space.
We did all that. Yep.
Yeah. So you're going to handle all of that. I am assuming I can start this conversation from everything's been uploaded, everything's technically done.
Yes. Let's do that, because I think that Ton's sidekick, Buddy Wallace, and then would fill in the blanks if we don't. That's like his marketing arm.
Okay.
So that will just like for handwork like that. Like they help with my website and that. So yeah, I think
like admin kind of stuff. We don't
Yeah. So okay. And Jen's really good too. So
and what you want to get to is the launch. Like your question is, how do I have a launch? What are the
James had said, he said, you know, he was so excited to hear we were talking. He's like, Jen, do you have the three questions? James said the sequence was number one. Okay, there's the cover. Should we start there?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, and then I'll pull up those questions while you guys are looking at that. The only thing that I think is different is on the back cover. Remember, Jamie was going to just do like some capitalization or make some of those letters lowercase. But other than that, this is final.
Do you want any advice on this, or are you happy?
Sure. No,
I'm totally happy with it. If it were me, I would put the James Altucher quote on the front.
Really? Interesting.
And I'll tell you, in the ebook version of the cover, I would put James's quote on the front at the top.
Okay.
And I might, it's hard because of this picture. I might pull the picture down. I'm a little worried. Hold on one second. So the big thing with ebook sales is the covers for ebooks need to be slightly different. Generally, you don't want for an ebook a subtitle, although I love your subtitle. The big thing I'm worried about, and I'll show you what I'm doing in 1 second. So I'm going to screen share. And I'm going to show you how I handle ebook covers. It's going to turn off your screen share, Jen.
Okay.
So I only look at ebook covers in thumbnail. So do you see how tiny that is that I'm looking at it?
Yes.
So the contrast here of this like white in the thumbnail, this book will sell better without that subtitle, or with a subtitle slightly different, like so that it's more readable. That's just not quite readable in thumbnail. And it's a reason why people don't buy. And it's one of those like hair trigger, they don't read it and don't buy, they just can't read it. And they're like, I don't know, it's a book on swimming. Like you just lose them. The picture doesn't, I have been in that picture. So the picture says a lot to me, but if I'm your ideal reader, it looks like it's a memoir about swimming, summers with my family. It doesn't say how to, it doesn't speak to your ideal reader. And the particular contrast of the white on the blue in thumbnail is hard to read. What I was worried about was that the word family would be hard to read, and it's not. I can read the family board meeting. This isn't a deal breaker, but generally on, like, I'll bring up ours just so you can see. The first thing we're looking for on a book cover is it readable in thumbnail? And in 1 second, would the ideal reader know what the book was about? And again, you're already down the line, so I don't think this will decide like success or failure, but you can see how for the most part, all that's on the cover is the title and not the subtitle. And the reason why is the subtitle makes everything smaller, and so it's usually hard to read in thumbnail. Now, like the pause principle, we have the thumbnail there, we have the subtitle there, but it's super readable.
Yeah, we've had a lot of issue trying to make that readable.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really tough.
So I would reject that cover. So here are two: Flex Mom, which is somebody who I want to introduce Jamie to, The Secrets of Happy Stay-at-Home Moms, and Give Birth a Chance, How to Prepare for an Empowered VBAC. Both of those have subtitles and they're readable. I probably for both of them rejected 100. Like I reject a lot of covers because they're just not readable in thumbnail. And then even this, so I don't know if you can read this, but on Flex Mom, it says forward by Sean Acor, New York Times bestselling author of The Happiness Advantage. Even that I can read in thumbnail. And I always like, if we have a big name, forward by Aziz Hashim, chairman of the board for the International Franchise Association. Forward by Survivor star Joe Anglim. Like James Altucher, for your ideal reader, James Altucher means a lot. Like I would want him on the cover. Here's one: Piece of Cake. And you can see on that one, she has Piece of Cake, Secret to an Anti-Inflammatory Diet, and then Vani Hari, Food Babe. We still got hers on the cover. Vani Hari, foodbabe.com, New York Times bestselling author of The Food Babe Way. Because for her ideal reader, an endorsement by the Food Babe is a big deal.
Okay.
This is somebody else I want to introduce you to. Faith Clark, Parenting Like a Ninja, An Autism Mom's Guide to Professional Productivity. Read every single thing on that cover. So I would just say you have 2 problems with this cover. It's hard to read. 3 problems. It's hard to read. It leaves off James Altucher, which is like, that's fucking ridiculously amazing. And then the picture doesn't say to me what it is, and it confuses me and makes me think it's a memoir because it's a very misty picture. That said, you might be far enough along that you're like, whatever, I don't need to fix that.
Yeah, I don't know. We're always open. I guess I wish I had talked to you earlier. We haven't finalized, but we were trying to fix what captures connection.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I know with It Can't Be Read, we did play with doing black writing, and we thought, the black kind of makes it darker, but it's definitely more legible. Legible. So if you look at it, though, I bet you if that writing was black, you'd be able to read it no problem.
Yeah, I thought about telling you to make it black, but I had the exact same thought that I thought it would be too dark. We do this thing sometimes. I'm trying to find an example where they'll put, okay, this is a weird example. And yet again, it's another person I want to introduce Jamie to. But here we go. This book, Help My Child Hate School, which is next to the Micro School Builder's Handbook. That's Jesse on the cover of that one.
There he is.
If you look at the title, Help My Child Hate School, see how it's on just a slightly lighter bar?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I would recommend for your cover is I would basically do a slightly lighter translucent bar and probably slightly darker in your case. So probably like a gray or the darker blue from the water, and do like a gradient over it so that it's easier to read. Here's another one. See on Cracking the Code?
Mm-hmm.
What happened with Cracking the Code is the black in this table made the black in Cracking the Code hard to read. So we put this slight translucent bar over it to make that contrast bigger.
Yeah, we had one where there was a bar in that, like it was boxed out, and it kind of looked like it was like a banner ad going across the picture. It just didn't flow.
Right.
But there also was one that I know we had where we just kept the picture and we made the writing black, and it looked clean, it looked good, but we're like, oh, the white seems so much happier. You know what I mean? And
right. But I don't think it'll determine success or failure. I just can tell you I would not approve that cover. If it weren't coming to me, I would reject that cover.
Well, it's good to know. And that's why we're talking to you. But so do you think it would be better? And you can't have one thing for the print and one thing for the ebook.
Well, yeah, you can, and we do. So for the ebooks, we usually don't put the subtitle on, and for the print books, we do. For the ebooks, we usually put the forward by or the endorsement on the cover because there is no back cover. But
Yeah.
for print books, we usually have it on the back because there's an actual book.
So would you have James Altucher on the front of both the ebook and the print book?
I'd definitely have him on the front of the ebook.
Okay.
The print book, I could be talked into keeping it where it is, but I can't stomach the idea of you losing that endorsement for all your ebook sales.
So, well, and this is key then. So would you say, Ange, that for the ebook, we just say for the ebook cover, we want to make it black because I think black would make it stand out. And then, because like you said, in order to help, we've struggled with the picture. Like we wanted connection. And then we've had our group talk with Ton where he's like, I like it. We did like pictures of a dad and a daughter walking down the beach. And I don't know. We all thought the retro kind of look was good with the subtitle, but there's so many, I'm trying to think all the parts, but if we could we for the ebook, cause the family board meeting, the picture's like, like you said, is it summer? Is it a memoir? But if it shows that subtitle, the subtitle is pretty powerful. Like, boom.
I think the picture takes away from the subtitle.
Really?
The subtitle is fantastic. The only reason I would want a subtitle with that picture, like if somebody was trying to get it through me, I would want a subtitle that has you only have 18 summers. It's discover the simple rhythm. You have only 18 summers to create lasting connection with your child. That, I would have, to make it match, I would have changed the subtitle because you're asking somebody's brain to do too many things too fast. When you're deciding whether or not to get a book, you have 10 seconds. So it's about a simple rhythm. Then I want the drum circle here. You have mixed metaphors. We've got swimming, jumping in, but then we have rhythm. You're asking my brain to do so many things that I just figured it out.
So nothing's carved in stone yet. Nothing's been finalized. I mean, Jen, what do you think of that? Like what you just said, Ange, and I know we're taping this. So you only have 18 summers to, however you just kind of combined 18 summers in what we have. And maybe that matches the picture and everyone loves 18 summers.
The thing that we're that got my checkbook out for sure. The thing that we're fighting is cognitive dissonance, and that kind of pulls in that minimizes cognitive dissonance. So instead of discover the simple rhythm is you only have 18 summers to create lasting connection with your children.